Hey guys, welcome to nighttime. It is time for another writing vlog. Woo! Today we are going to talk about beta readers. Yeah, beta readers. They're super important, especially if you're self-publishing, but even if you're not, try to get yourself some beta readers. What are beta readers? You probably already know, but I'm just going to let you know anyway. Beta readers are people that you get to read your manuscript, not your first draft, probably more like your second draft, where you've gone through, you've edited it yourself, you've tried to get rid of a lot of stuff on your own, and especially spelling and grammatical errors, and then you will try to get yourself some beta readers who will read the book and give you their thoughts. The more beta readers you can get, the better. And yes, in case you're wondering, friends and family totally count as beta readers. But I encourage you to use the same strategies you use with your other beta readers with your friends and family who are beta reading for you. The beta reading round kind of falls in your writing process, as I said, after you have already done some of the work yourself, but before you go out and get professional editing help that you pay for. Beta readers are especially looking for things like flow, characterization. Gonna hopefully tell you if there are any scenes that are useless or confusing. They're gonna help you figure out whether your story is working. And that's great, because we all need that. You need it, I need it, we all need it for our story. No matter how good you are, you're never gonna just shit out a masterpiece. It has to go through some sort of editing process, and beta readers really help with that. I'm loving the beta process, which I'm going through with Diary of a Demon. I really love to hear other people's thoughts, and I love when people can help me figure out how to make my book better, because after a little while you've looked at it so much that you're just like, I have no idea what to do to this anymore. And beta readers and outside opinion can help you understand what needs to get done. So how do you find yourself some beta readers? Well, obviously, friends and family. Obviously, go there, but also you can try online, such as posting on Goodreads. There's a group on Goodreads that's specifically writers looking for betas, so definitely check that one out. I posted on there and got a couple of beta readers on there. I also posted on my author page on Facebook and got an interested beta or two. Remember to be specific in what you're looking for. Tell them how many words your book has, what it's about, any trigger warnings it might have, things like violence and smut and sex, anything that you don't want them to be shocked or surprised by. You want your betas to know what they're getting into before they get into it. You don't want somebody who thinks your book is going to go one way and quits beta reading it because you didn't warn them about an explicit sex scene halfway through. So once you have your beta readers, what the heck do you do with them? Well, this is what I do. And remember, everybody has a little bit of a different strategy, so find what works for you. Some people communicate directly with their betas using Skype or FaceTime or whatever people use, so that they communicate in a sort of face-to-face fashion. I don't really like to do that as much. I prefer to just communicate through email. Some people like to send their entire manuscript with a list of questions or guidelines to kind of guide their beta readers into what they're looking for as far as assistance with the book. But I prefer to send it one chapter at a time, and every chapter comes with its own little question sheet for my betas to fill out when they are finished reading the chapter. That way they can email it to me as soon as they're done, and I will, as quickly as possible, email them the next chapter. The questions I send along are questions that I came up with myself, and they differ from chapter to chapter, so I have a master list of them so I can easily send out individual questions depending on the chapter that whatever beta reader needs. I'm going to show you one of mine, which is chapter 4. I just picked it randomly, but these are basically the questions that I ask every time. So for chapter 4, I always put a disclaimer that says, always remember, I don't know, I don't remember, or I don't have an opinion is perfectly acceptable, but hopefully it won't happen very often, so I always put a little disclaimer at the top. And then I get into my questions for the chapter. Beginning, were you able to orient yourself quickly? Did the setting make sense? What are your initial thoughts and reactions on reading this chapter? What was your favorite scene/moment and why? What was your least favorite scene/moment and why? Did the dialogue sound natural? Did each character have a distinct voice? Those are questions that I ask every chapter. Now we get into a little bit more of the nitty-gritty about the characters. What are your thoughts on the protagonist? How was Anders in this chapter? Was he acting in character all the way through? Was he believable? What are your thoughts on Brian? What are your thoughts on meeting Brian? We meet the character called Brian in this chapter, and I want to get their thoughts on encountering him. What are your thoughts on Brian's apartment? Was it well described and easy to picture? Did the events of this chapter flow, and were they easy to follow? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you enjoy this chapter? On a scale of 1 to 10, how eager are you to read the next chapter? Do you have any other overall thoughts about the chapter? And are you willing/able to continue betaing for me? So that's an example of a question sheet that I would send along with my Chapter 4 of Diary of a Demon for my beta reader. You can always change it up, but feel free to use that sheet if you want to. If I remember, I might even post the questions down below. If not, and you want me to, definitely remind me. But that's how I do it, and you can find other ways that work for you and your beta readers. The most important thing about your beta readers is that you want to be open to their critiques. Now, you are probably going to find some people who are not the best at it, because you were asking for volunteers here, so not everybody's going to be the best. So you kind of have to be prepared for all comers, but in general, if you are courteous and polite, it's whatever happens, you'll get the good ones, the bad ones, whatever, but you'll get something that you can use from this experience. Try not to be defensive. Only ask questions if you have a direct question, like say if someone says, I didn't like this chapter, it made me mad. Then you would go back and be like, what specifically in this chapter made you mad? But try to avoid taking any critiques personally. They are just attempting in whatever way they can to help you with your book. And hey, they're reading it for free and trying to help you. I mean, you gotta give them some credit for that. Now, before I go, let me tell you the biggest thing that nobody tells you about beta readers. Because I'm sure you've seen videos pretty much exactly like this from a lot of other writers here on YouTube. But none of them I have found have ever mentioned this. When you get your betas all lined up and you're excited and you're sending them chapters, be prepared for a large number to drop off the face of the earth, never to be seen again. Now, usually if they're your friends and family, they don't do that, but if you're getting beta readers from the internet, be completely prepared for them to disappear into the internet and to leave you scratching your head wondering whatever happened to them. I do include at the end of each of my question sheets, as you saw, the question of whether they are willing/able to keep betaing for me, but most of them still don't feel like they can tell you if they're just done with your book for whatever reason. So, don't be surprised. It's going to be very frustrating, trust me, I know. I have lost so many beta readers, and at first you're going to be like, it's because my book is terrible, they can't stand to read it, I should just crawl in a hole and die. But it's really because, for whatever reason, they have busy lives, they have other stuff going on, maybe they piled too much onto their plate and don't have time for your book, and for whatever reason they decided it would be easier to just disappear than tell you. Because they don't know, they're not in your shoes, they don't know your experience of losing them to the internet, not knowing what happened and how horrible that feels. If you are a beta reader and you're watching this and you are reading something and you don't want to keep reading, please tell the author that you have to stop for whatever reason, and they will probably understand. They would much rather have you say, hey, this life stuff came up and I can't keep betaing for you, than you to just disappear and never help them again. Simple as that. That is a true fact that very few people tell you about betas. Don't feel bad, it does happen to everyone. You're gonna lose some, maybe even a large amount. And don't forget, if you go through one round and you lose a lot of betas, you can try again. You can try as many times as you want to. So don't give up, stick to it, and I hope you make it through the beta process and have a great time. Jane is here. Whoops, he just left. Jane was here to encourage you all to stick with it. And since it's a writing vlog and I haven't really shared too much of my writing process recently with you guys, as of the filming of this video, I have been plugging along on Boots, my Puss in Boots retelling, really enjoying it. It's really fun to write. Unfortunately, this past week for my job, I have had to go into work early, and I have not been able to do my usual writing before work, and I didn't realize what an effect it would have on me, but it was kind of slowly killing me. So I'm glad that week is over and things can get back to normal. However, I did just write last night before I went to bed, which is rare for me, but I did it. And I really liked where it was going, and I have Levi, one of our main characters, is in serious peril, and I left him there for a little while because I'm terrible. I'm evil. I love to put my characters in peril. It's the most fun. Diary of a Demon is still in the beta process. A few of my betas are getting really close to the end, so I'm super excited to start editing that, although I might put it through another round of betas since I did lose quite a few to the void that is the internet. And as always, you can purchase yourself a copy of my first book, Phoenix, for your Kindle or computer or phone or whatever you like to read things on Amazon. Links in the doobly-doo. And if you want to read my writing for free, there's a DeviantArt for that. I've got a lot of short stories and stuff on there if you want to just check that out, because it's free. But that is what has been going on with me and my writing, so I hope I will see you all again real soon, and I hope your writing is going smashingly. Bye!